The Kimpact Development Initiative says that Nigeria recorded about 238 cases of violence, resulting in 24 deaths during the recently concluded general elections. The group, which monitored the polls, made this known during its public presentation of the 2023 Elections Violence Report in Abuja. Our correspondent Mohammed Joshua compiled this report, a public presentation of the 2023 Elections Violence Report. The report reveals that widespread violence was witnessed across many states of the country, leading to the death of 24 persons from 239 incidences. It claims that 54% of the attacks were physical ones and were made possible due to the low presence of security operatives at the polling unit.
The summary of what we presented today was about the election violence report that happened within the 2023 elections. In total, we had like about 239 election cases of violence, which is spread across the country, which is not good enough. We reported cases of 24 electoral deaths, people that were killed during the election.
However, representatives from INEC and the police deny these claims.
The general elections, as they have reported, was relatively peaceful, according to their report. And from what we know as journalists, that the election was relatively peaceful, even more peaceful than the 2019 general elections. The cases reported, tracked during this election was lower. The record was lower to that of 2019. So that is an achievement in terms of being peaceful. It was peaceful. And if you look at the number of victims, it was lower to that of 2019. In terms of trend, we had a lower trend in terms of number of cases that occurred this year compared to what happened in 2019. And by implication, we continue to improve on that. We continue to enhance conditions that we continue to make our elections peaceful. That is what we are talking about.
There was election violence in 2023, particularly pre-election violence, which was targeted towards INEC facilities. During the elections, there are pockets of election violence, but by our assessment, it's nothing compared to previous election violence in Nigeria.
The Kimpact Development Initiative also called for interagency collaboration and an end to the smuggling of small arms and light weapons to avert cases of election violence in the future.
Again, we also seen that, look, we have to do better in terms of arrest, in terms of being proactive and not reactive, in terms of making use of intelligence report to curb electoral violence. The security agencies need to be proactive. They need to begin to go and mop up all this proliferation of these light arms in those states. They need to take it off. They need to look at the perpetrators of violence as we have placed them today. Greater percentage of them are the political thugs.
Implementers, NGOs, and security services, and ensure that information is shared broadly and shared early. Information must drive action, whether it is the deployment of security forces, undue government restrictions on campaigns, or orchestrated malfeasance by political parties. Early warning is of no use if it does not drive early action.
We look forward to improving the process as we progress in further elections in Nigeria. We will continue to improve in our effort towards free, fair, credible election in Nigeria.
But most importantly, what we need to do to party talks, to power of incumbency, to finance of election violence, because we have seen from the data that it takes resources to finance election violence. So again, we also seen that, look, we have to do better in terms of arrest, in terms of being proactive and not reactive, in terms of making use of intelligence report to curb electoral violence.
The off-cycle governorship election is scheduled to hold in the states of Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa in few months away. It is hoped that data gotten from this election report, measures can be put in place to put an end to election violence across the country once and for all. Mohammed Joshua reporting For Development Nigerian Television,